Yo, what's good? What's gravy? What's great? This is Mr. 17,000 Block 4th Quarter Crunch Time Deep Sea Drill Diver, aka Al Nuke. And right now you're checking me out on Progress Report. What up, La La?
The Progress Report.
What's going on? It's your girl Lala Shepherd. This is the Progress Report.
Hey, boss, spread the most lit.
Hey, what's good? It's your girl DJ Excel. Y'all already know it's the Halloween edition.
You dig? Hey, man, we got our first guest.
Yeah. What up, though?
You ain't dressed up.
You definitely
Where your
did.
costume at?
I did.
What are you?
I am Al Nuke. I dressed up as Al Nuke. Y'all didn't
This whole time I thought you was out.
Yo, that's funny. So look, man, quick introduction. I know anytime I know somebody, I got to give an extensive intro.
Go ahead, talk your
but
shit.
you know, I'm gonna just say salute to Al Nuke, man. He took me under his wing. I remember when we first met. When I first moved down here, right?
Yep.
I was doing a party for I was working a door for DJ Funky and the Coalition DJs. They had some type of, I think it was a Halloween. It wasn't a
had you
Halloween
at the
party, but
door?
some shit. I was at the door.
Damn, you
Nigga
gotta
started
work
from the
your way
bottom,
up.
kid.
Hell
But-
yeah.
The door?
But I ain't know nobody. Right, I was at the door, and then
what's
you
up.
know, I remember seeing Zaytoven. I'm like, damn. Like my thing was, I don't ever really want to, network with the talent. Of course, I want them to know me, but I'm like, let me figure out who actually, making the moves behind the scenes. Because for some reason, I knew that's who I needed to link with.
That's a fact.
And I seen Al. I'm like, man, Funky was like, yeah, that's his manager. I'm like, cool, man, let's link. And really, ever since then, whether it's been a project, a movie project that he's been working on, or whatever the case may be, he took me under his wing and let me just shadow him and do work for him and whatnot. And he got me high as fuck one day, y'all. It was ridiculous. Y'all know, sheesh. But now Al definitely been a very influential part in just, helping me build my career.
And you met him at the door.
Met
I
him at
appreciate
the door,
that.
you
That's
did.
dope.
Okay.
I appreciate
And
it.
Not real shit.
It's dope that you respected her, because sometimes I feel like it
Oh, yeah, he
depends
could have
where
played
you-
me, man.
Nobody
Where
respects
you-
a door person. You know
Nah,
what I mean?
like where you meet people at.
No, that's true.
Because when I first moved out here, I worked at Guitar Center. I thought I was gonna meet hella like people in the industry, and I did. But I felt like since I worked at Guitar Center,
They
they
didn't
didn't take me serious as
That's
a
a good
DJ.
point.
And I'm like,
Okay.
bro, I done did this, but like, I just want to convince you. So it was dope that
yeah.
yeah. So
Well,
that's
coming from Detroit, like I've been in the industry now for close to like 20 years. So I've had a lot of students, in my time, and I've been really blessed to like being influential in a lot of people's life. But I can't say Lala was one of the few that like picked it up quick.
Yes.
Because she'll tell you like, I seen you through boot camp and there's no emotions.
Al ain't no joke.
Yeah,
Straight up.
it's like a boot camp, no emotion thing with me. And at first I thought I could break her, but I didn't. You know what I mean? I didn't break Lala. She sponged everything up. She never had an excuse. If she dropped the ball, she never had an excuse. She just shook her head and said back. You know what I mean?
So like, what's a
And
way of
sponged it in.
breaking somebody? Like going too
Well, 'cause
hard on them, or like?
No, when like when you playing at a high level, right? Everybody's trying to get with you. You know what I mean?
True.
And the majority of the people got their emotions on their shoulders. You know what I mean? Like I give you a prime example really quick. Like I've been knowing Birdman for a long, long time. And I seen him a few years ago when I was putting out Finesse, the movie, at the studio. And I was like, yo, bro, I really need you to rock with me at this movie. I just really thought that they was gonna help me with this movie. I even put their logos on the movie, like Cash Money, all of this, because I felt we had this relationship. They had just came to Atlanta. And when I seen him in the studio, I'm telling him like, bro, this is your movie, this, that, and the other, Bird. You gotta do this, gotta do this. He like, bet, Nuke, bet. And right before I was getting ready to leave, I said, bro, but don't play me like you did this and that, and this and this and that. Jumped in my emotions, and Birdman looked at me like, bro, why did you have to say that? Like, why did you say that? Like, I dropped the fucking ball. Like, I learned so much in that one interaction right there. Like, yo, I had my emotions on my shoulders. I looked at like a fucking liability and not an asset.
Okay.
And you got to watch for that. You got to be mindful when you're trying to deal with successful people. So, with that being said, I learned a lot. And like I said, with Lala, she was just on it. Like, it was like she didn't get in her emotions. When I barked at her about something, she was like, okay, I know not to do that no more, and I'm going to do it better this time. And just kept it pushing. You know what I
That's
mean?
my
So-
dog. I see you, Lala.
Now that's real shit, man. So let's talk about you. Let's start from the very beginning, man. We know you are from Detroit, but let the people know, who is Al Nuke, man. What do you do? Where did you come from? I know you came from Detroit, but just let them know your upbringing and all that good shit.
Al Nuke, man. I've been in the industry about 20 years. I've started as an artist. I put out music. I put out my first album, literally, y'all, in like '99. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing to still be and still grinding. I put out multiple albums, mixtapes. I had a #1 TV show in Detroit for like 5 years called Nuke At Night. You can pull it up. I've done a lot. I moved to Atlanta 10 years ago, started managing Zaytoven. We did Birds of a Feather. And we just took off ever since from there, from like albums, from the Gucci's to Migos to Futures to Dolphs, you name it. And we just still grinding. Like, I still feel like a kid in the game. I just got started.
So how did you become a manager, or is that what you wanted to do when you moved out here? Or did you fall into that place?
I had a consulting company in Detroit for a few years prior to coming out here, because like I said, I put out albums and everything for a minute, so I knew every single thing about the industry from A to Z. There's nothing that you couldn't tell me about the industry, and I'm still learning. I'm still a student, always a student, but I was ahead of the game. So coming down here, I was an artist, but I said, you know what, Atlanta is filled with artists. And everybody come to Atlanta with all of these expectations and ended up moving back home.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? Let me come in and see how can I help. You know what I mean? What could I be? How could I be a asset to a person? Because I learned early in the game that successful people don't need shit. A lot of us think that we can come on with successful people and just start flying out with them and it's perfect life. No. Like she said, I started as an intern. So I came down here. I linked in with Zay already prior through a friend of mine. And I just seen an opening. My first opening was videos. I was like, yo, Zay, we need more content on you. So I started shooting videos. And, of course, he wanted to drag me. So he was like, oh, okay, well, shoot my man video. Go shoot his video, too, cuz. Then my boy right here, shoot his video. And I mind you, all of this was free. You know what I mean? All of this was, I didn't ask for no money whatsoever. Me and my girl out here on our last dollars. You know what I mean? It was one of them moves. So it was like I did that for a minute. And then, as time got on, he seen that I was a man and met way more talents than that. You know what I mean? It was like, wait a minute, like this dude do some of everything. So.
Damn.
And you gotta start somewhere, and I think a lot of people need to know that. Like sometimes you gotta work your way up. Even 217, he started off as Bankrolls cameraman. Well, you really a producer. You gotta be humble enough to be willing to take those positions too.
I don't even like dealing with people like that. Like people now, I've been in the industry so long, people that got instant high expectations, I want to get away from them. I don't even want to be away from. I despise free lunch. I don't want nothing free. I want to work for it. I want to grind for it. And you gotta have people around you like that. Everybody want to throw the Hail Mary. You know what I mean? And it's like, what about the yards? What about the, you know what I mean? What about the gameplay? It's all about the journey. I come to realize, because you gotta embrace that, man.
And you appreciate it so much more too.
Definitely, and it's longevity. You know what I mean? Yeah, you could be here for a minute.
You hit on a lot of topics, but talk about your upbringing, man. What was it like when you was a kid? You know what I mean, coming up and all that good shit. And I know Detroit is a rough place to come up at. So.
Well, man, to tell y'all the truth, like I couldn't even really tell y'all like a lot of my stories. It'll make y'all cry, like for real. Like for Al Nuke, I've been on my own since I was 13. You know what I mean? Foster homes, boys' homes, abused as a child. Sleeping in abandoned houses, shitting in bags, you know what I mean? Going to wash my nuts over my friend's house in his sink, you know what I mean? Like, and that's 13, 14 years old. So from the age 13, I sold dope to 22 years old, staying in abandoned houses that didn't have windows, didn't have doors. We put plastic up, put the kerosene heater on, turn that motherfucker for the heat, go next door for some water, that type of thing until 22, until I got enough money where I could kind of do my own thing. So it was like a real hard, very, very hard upbringing for me, you know what I mean, growing up. No father, mother on crack, you know what I mean? And so it was just a crazy experience. Foster homes, boys' homes. I don't know if anybody in here can relate to that, but them foster homes is like weird. Like that shit is like really, really weird, you know what I mean? A lot of people come out of that shit kind of mentally messed up in like foster homes and boys' homes, because it just be weird.
Well, yeah.
But I came out of all that.
Just knowing that though, just knowing your circumstances, what motivated you at a young age? Like, man, like fuck this, I can overcome all this. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of people, when we go through things, we think about what's fucking us up versus actually taking action.
Yeah.
To make it better.
I think I was a stubborn kid. In shootouts, man, indictments, all type of stuff. I was just a crazy dude. And what really touched me though, what made me change, was when I got locked up for attempted murder. And I seen the people that owed me money in the streets. I was sending my daughter's mother over there to go pick up the money, and niggas was looking at her grim, and it made her scared. It made her uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And the nigga that I shot, he was a 300-pound nigga. He like stole my rims, and I shot him broad daylight, and I was on the run for like a year. But when I got caught, he was in court and I was in court, and you know, I paid my bond, so I was going back to court, and we was shooting at each other, you know, during these court sessions. And one of the last joints was real talk. The nigga, the judge was like, "Yo, we're going, you know, react. You know, we're going to postpone to another day." And we was arguing ready to leave, to like all leave, and we're going to get in the shootouts again tonight, bitch, when I see you. But right before we left, the nigga was like, "Yo, hold on, Your Honor. I just want to let you know he's been shooting at me past couple days." This, that, and the other. Honor said, "What?
Damn.
I can't believe it. Revoked the bond." Boom. Shit. Hit me with that shit, and guess what? The nigga
What
did.
dude say that
Listen,
though?
I went in cuffs. I'm ready to go get in the shootout with this nigga as soon as I leave. He knew the game that we was doing already, but when he flipped that, and the lady said put him in cuffs, and the nigga put me in cuffs, the tear dropped, and I looked back at him as he walking out. The nigga did this.
Bitch ass nigga, I would have been pissed.
Nah.
So-
that make you want to kill somebody.
Yeah, so
dog.
when he did that, that made me realize and understand, well, what's really keeping it real? Because I kept it real with you. You trying to kill me, I'm trying to kill you. It's like, whatever, my nigga. But then you come in here and do that and then blow the kiss. It was like, that made me realize, you know what I mean, there's no definition of
That's
really
kinda
keeping it real.
The industry.
Right.
That sounds just like how like shit would go on in the industry.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
So you got found guilty?
No, I actually fought it. They was
Okay.
trying to give me 8 to 16 years. I never talked about this neither, like in Atlanta, but they tried to give me 8 to 16 years. I didn't take a plea. I fought it. And what happened was this dude, like I said, was 300 pounds. I was a little nigga, and he stole my rims. So what happened was I paid the attorney. I had a court appointed, which was some mob shit. Dude told me go in there and say you did it. Like go in there and say you shot this nigga, and we going in here with a bench trial, not a jury. You gonna have a bench. I know the judge. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm not going. He said, trust me.
That's
And-
hard to trust.
Tell me about it. You know, because I was looking at fucking the 20 because he got shot up here. Anything when you shoot from the neck above is 20.
Your
you know what I
life
mean?
on their
Anything
hand.
up under here is lower, and of course, you know, the leg's lower. So he got shot up here, and I unloaded the clip. So I'm like, bro, I'm not. But long story short, he did know the judge, and the way that we worked it. I went in there with a suit on, glasses like a nerd.
Bifocals.
Yeah. and they found me like self-defense. So they tried to overcharge me, but it was really self-defense because he swung on me. Like the nigga swung on me and I had my gun on me. So I shot him.
That's crazy.
But that taught me a lot. That changed my life.
That's real, man. Shout out to Annalise from How to Get Away with Murder. Because of her, I do know a lot about law now.
Yeah.
Oh,
You see what I'm
learn a lot
saying? So you knew
from
what was going on in that.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
But shout out to
real
First
shit.
48.
I get it. Now, question
the
to you,
system is
man.
looking nice.
What do you consider street code, street ethics nowadays? Or just period? What's your definition of that? And then just how would it apply now? Because now I know things are different, especially, you know, prior to you coming up and all that
definitely,
good stuff. So
it's changed.
yeah.
I would just always tell the young people and just people in general to stay 100. And what I mean by that is live by something, live by code, live by character. It's a thing that we call omerta. And it's really simple. It's just basically mean like keeping it 100 with what you believe in and be willing to take a loss to make sure your name is not fucked up. Keep your name A1. Like you go to Detroit, anybody will tell you Al Nuke is a legend. You can't find nobody in Detroit that say Al Nuke a bitch ass nigga.
Okay.
Like you cannot find it. You can Google it. You can research it. Every nigga's gonna say, yo, Nuke is a good nigga because I've always kept my name and my face card A1. So anytime anybody got an issue with you, you go back to them and say, hey man, like what happened? You know what I mean? And I'm willing to take the loss, my nigga, and do that. And always pay your ticket. All that bullshit Plies was talking about, runoff, this, that, and other. No, if somebody did something for you,
Facts.
pay your fucking ticket and never outshine the master. If somebody puts you on, don't go to dissing them. Like, don't
Hell
never.
yeah.
Even if they cut you off, you never diss them. You never the movies show you, you know what I mean? Real classic movies will show you what omerta really mean and how to stay 100. And a lot of people live for today and right now and for fame or for likes, or they'll stab you in the back for your bitch or for your nigga and this, that, and the other. Like, you gotta just be disciplined with yourself and, like I said, be willing to take the loss. Even if it was that nigga, that bitch, that money, that whatever, you know, make sure that you stay on your square.
Right, and I guess the hardest part is that you can't expect anybody else to keep it
Right,
the
everybody
same
else not
way.
gonna keep
You know
that
what
like
I'm saying?
that,
And
yeah.
that's the hardest part because like even when you a solid ass person, your right hand could do you so
Nah,
grimy.
you right.
You
And
know,
it hurt.
So that's why you still kind of like gotta move the right way so it don't backfire. You know what I'm saying? Because just like the whole situation you was talking about, like being in court, y'all.
Yeah, the dude blew the
keeping
kiss.
it
Yeah,
gangster.
like, I'm trying to keep it gangster. And he threw that shit out there. It was
yeah.
like, that gave me a different opinion. But you know, one thing about it is good guys, they say the good guys finish last, but they always finish.
They
you know what I
finish
mean?
straight up.
So
Yeah.
That's a
when you
fact.
got people that are, you know, hang out with you and you got money, but then the motherfuckers is texting somebody to try to rob both of y'all, playing it off, you know what I mean? Shit like that.
Yeah.
You never win with that sneaky hoe ass, weak
That's a
ass
fact.
shit. You know what I mean? You never win with that. So you just gotta make sure you stay on that wave, you know?
Nah, and that's true. I mean, and then too, you never like a person that be doing some fucked up shit. In my head, I imagine like even if it don't eat you up right now, it's gonna eventually eat you
Karma
up. 'Cause
real
it's
like a
bruh, you know
motherfucker.
you
It is.
No, I mean,
No, it is. It's gonna eat you up.
It's gonna eat you up.
Because you got a lot of bitter shit going on. Like I see a lot of bosses turning into bums lately. You know what I mean? I see a lot of boss niggas that I would never think, you know, for Instagram doing silly shit, or you know, niggas is like trying to fuck your girl and like all like niggas that you like. Or chicks trying to fuck your chick, like it's just, you know, all of that like weak shit where you like that hurt your heart.
Word.
One thing about 2018, like I'm gonna tell you some real shit. Don't have no expectations out of people.
That's a fact.
Don't have no expectations out of people, because you could fuck around and see any and everything in 2018 or moving forward. You might see a motherfucker turn into a beast right before your eyes.
I just seen that this
Like,
weekend
real
too.
talk.
And
I did.
another
Real
thing
talk.
is
Yeah, that's real shit.
damn.
Fuck me up, y'all.
What?
I was like,
Go ahead.
damn.
Real.
No, I seen somebody just do exactly that this weekend. Somebody I had a lot of high respect for, and it just fucked me up. Like, damn, I
yeah.
just made that Saudi face because I was disappointed.
Yeah, and see, I never want to be that person. Like, I
Yeah.
pride myself on never being that person. Like, oh,
Right.
you a hoe ass nigga.
Yeah.
And you know what
I
I'm
never wanna
learning?
be that
I've been
person.
learning recently. You can't expect people to think the way you think.
That's true too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
true.
Because when I be venting to people, I'll be like, but look, I would never do it this way. Or like,
True.
how can you even ask me for this when I did
Yeah.
this? But
True,
then
fam.
like, you can't expect people to think the way you
Yeah.
think. You know what I'm saying?
You right.
Okay.
You right about
The
that.
lighter.
That's real. Now let's talk about your transition from Detroit to Atlanta.
Definitely.
What are some of the things that you noticed that were different? You know, coming from Detroit. Oh,
It wasn't
damn,
a good
Kai.
throw.
My
The
nigga
camera,
Kai.
I'm just like, the camera seen
That
it was
nigga
not
Kai
a good
said,
throw.
You can't
And
trust
it was
them.
underhand.
We can't
Yeah,
trust
that's
you.
just
We can't
underhand.
trust me that.
Up under the
That's
cup,
our young
through the
boy right
thing.
there.
Like, come on, man.
He had class all day. He tired. It's okay.
Nah, back to the question though. But like, let's talk about your transition, man. This man's fucking me up. Y'all see, I keep pulling it, but I don't want to take it off
You
because it's too
struggling.
hard.
You in character. Go ahead. You
I
fuck-
am, man. Sheesh. But talk about your transition from the Midwest, Detroit, to Atlanta, man. What were some of the things that you noticed that was different? What did you like? What didn't you like? What were some of the hardest adjustments and what?
I'm gonna tell you right now, one of the main problems that I still got with Atlanta, and I'm sorry, I just got to be 100 about this, is that everything is smoke and mirrors in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like, and what I mean by that is you can't have hard conversations with people in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like, in Detroit, that's all we ever do. We might have too many hard conversations, because in Detroit, it could come to a situation where we getting high with each other, and a nigga might say, fam, my man just painted this shit purple. And you like, nah, this shit blue. You like, nigga, it's purple. You like, nigga, it's blue, hoe ass nigga. You ain't never even had a car. Nigga, fuck you. Nigga, boo, boo, boo. Before you know it, that's a shootout, right? But in here, if a nigga do something to you wrong in Atlanta, or do some funny shit, or act funny the next day, you can't even have a conversation with him about that, because he gonna tell you in your feelings.
Exactly.
So everything is kind of like, you meet these niggas for the first time every time you meet the nigga.
Wow.
It's like, damn, it's like, I don't get it. Like, I've been knowing a lot of these rappers. I ain't gonna speak no names, but all of these rappers that y'all see, I've been knowing them for a long fucking time. I mean, 10 years.
Right.
But it's like, I still feel like I don't know these
You
niggas.
don't know what
like,
to
I don't-
expect.
The nigga might still be like, damn, nigga, we done smoked. We done,
Right.
like, damn, my nigga, like, for real? So that's the only thing I don't like about Atlanta. And then the second
You
thing
think
is,
that's Atlanta or just like the music
no, that's
industry?
Atlanta.
That's Atlanta.
No, that's Atlanta.
Straight up.
And Atlanta and LA.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
LA
yeah.
like that too.
Especially LA.
Do you
LA
think
like
niggas
that.
like be feeling themselves or in like?
I think a lot of the problem is it's not a lot of protocol, and it's like I said, it's not a lot of hard conversations. Like you don't have big brothers and niggas that's in the game. Like shout out Big Bank Black.
Oh, hell
you ain't got enough
Yeah.
people like Big Bank Black in Atlanta. You know what I mean? That kind of like saying, hey man, that's some hoe ass shit. I don't care how you feel, bro. That's some
Right.
weak ass shit. That's some hoe ass shit. You know what I mean? And but he a stand up nigga that's saying it, so you respect him
Right.
for saying it. You know what I mean? And furthermore, a difference in Atlanta is this the only place that I see it's only one boss and everybody else there and they're workers. Everybody else is like low tier workers. It ain't even a situation where it's like this nigga's a boss and a couple niggas up under him. It's like 3-4 more niggas getting money. It's like he's a boss, everybody else is there and they go get the blunt boys. You know what I mean? And that ain't for every crew in Atlanta, because a lot of these niggas get money. I ain't taking nothing away from people, but I'm saying they know what I'm talking about because I speak on it a lot. You know, a lot of people don't really put their people on the right way or put them in positions like, and they feel like it's cool. You know what I mean? Like it ain't. You know.
I'm gonna say this too. Now I definitely agree with that, but I feel like sometimes a lot of niggas is silly. They don't even know what to do if they
be
even
No,
Yeah,
you
put
right.
in a position.
I agree. I totally
But I
agree
feel
with
what
that
you're
too.
saying, though.
I totally agree with that too. A lot of these niggas is on pills, lean, perks,
Right.
this, that, and other. You ain't trying to give a nigga. You
Zombies.
can't
That's
give a
a
nigga
fact.
opportunity
Straight up
because
They gonna fuck it
he
up.
not ready to take the opportunity.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So yeah. But
I
again,
think social media fucked up a lot
that
of
too.
shit.
A lot of
bruh.
shit.
you don't have them hard conversations though.
Yeah. True.
Like if I'm getting a whole bunch of money and all my niggas is on high and perks, nigga, at some point we gonna have to sit down
Now,
and
we
talk.
gotta
And I'm gonna
talk
say, hey
straight
niggas,
up.
we gotta get this shit together, bro. How you gonna get some money with me? How you gonna get some money? The niggas here don't give a fuck. They be like, hey bro, shit, these niggas on perk, man. Fuck.
Damn.
That's real shit. Too.
Damn.
That's
You know what I
real
mean?
shit.
So it just be different like that.
Yep. We got a question up there.
Alan, what was the album called? What was your album called, 99?
My first album came out, Lifestyles of the Rich and Infamous.
Did you ever record with Blade, Icewood, and Big Herc on
Of course, I had a couple. Well, I had 2 records with Blade Icewood by itself. R.I.P. We did a couple records. He was a good friend of mine. Proof is a good friend of mine from D12, Eminem, all of those guys. Every guy you could think of, even from new guys.
Do you really fuck with the new sound, the new bounce that they brought back at the Blade, Icewood, and Detroit now? Like, do you fuck with it tough?
I fuck with it, but I don't really fuck with it 110%. I fuck with it because that has became the Detroit sound. But I often tell my artists in Detroit, like, we still gotta be more. It's gotta have more flavor to it, cause a lot of our shit is so bland. Like we be like riding in the truck, motherfucker, bit a bat, bitch. You know how I do it, East Side,
fact.
bitch.
That's a fact.
It's the same, and it ain't got no little sauce, little flavor on it. Kind of more
It's
easy
too
to
hard,
listen to.
goddamn.
Yeah,
hard.
and that's how I
Too many
lost
of
on
them hard
BET.
talks, boy. Like,
Man, but we grew up from that. I
That's
can't
true, that's
like
true.
that's all we grew up from. Like in Detroit, you got to think it's like a Beirut. Everything high ass bushes. The porch, the roof is on the porch of every house. It's like weird. So it's like, you know, that's our mentality.
How did you feel about when BMF came to Atlanta and did their thing in Detroit? Was really here in Atlanta on some gang mob shit? How did you feel when that era came? Were you even here in Atlanta at the time?
No, I wasn't here in Atlanta at that time, but being real with you, here's some hard information that people got to swallow is I respect the fuck out of BMF. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? I respect the fuck out of Big Meech and everything they did. I just also want to say is BMF, it was 100 BMFs in Detroit that started. They got the game from there. If you go back and look at Chamber Brothers, you go back and look at crews like Pony Down and Best Friends. All you got to do is Google them people. That's where that shit came from. And I'm catching trembles as I say it because I don't know who gonna hear, who gonna feel it, or what's gonna come back. But that's just being real. Like, go back and BMF. The only reason people respect BMF the way they did is because BMF came with black and white shirts on, nigga serious. It ain't no playing. Shit real. You can fuck around and get killed. That's the mentality of a lot of people in Detroit, and a lot of groups came out of that same thing. Pony Down, Best Friends, Chamber Brothers, YBI, Young Boys Incorporated. Pull these people up. They, you know, Meech and all of them, they pay respect to that shit too. Or Murta.
That's real. That's real. Now back again to Atlanta. Now talk about the first Birds of a Feather movie. Now, how true is that story that y'all depicted in the movie towards y'all real life?
Man, it was me and Zay was just riding one day. Me and Zay was arguing about shooting a movie, and I was like, bro, he was like, nigga, you can shoot something while you playing. And I'm like, bro, I ain't playing. I'm managing you, nigga. We running around here. So we ended up just shooting a couple scenes. And as we went on, we was like, yo, this could be a real movie. So again, I went back to my people in Detroit, you know, a couple bosses in Detroit, and went and got some money to go ahead and finish the whole film. A lot of people don't know that Birds of a Feather Part 1 was financed from people in Detroit. You know what I mean? And you know, they put the money up on the joint, but it ain't really about Zay. It was just me kind of depicting what he had seen and what he had went through, because Zay is a great creative person to be around. You can learn a lot. You can pick up a lot of jewels from him. So just hearing his story, I put some of his story with just writing a great story, and it came out to that.
Yeah, the first one was super entertaining. I'm gonna check out the second one. I know it came out today. I got Amazon Prime, so I'm gonna definitely
Amazon
fuck
Prime.
with it.
Birds of a Feather Part 2, baby.
I do.
Ordering shit through you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, you know what
that
I'm
shit.
saying? I fuck with
I got
Prime.
that
My
money,
membership
boy.
just fucking restarted. I'm like,
That's
damn,
what's up.
what's my account?
That's what's
But
Did y'all try to get it on Netflix?
Man, I didn't want it on Netflix this time, because it was like, Netflix, you don't get no money. It's down there like signing up to a major, and you don't get
We
a
didn't know
dollar.
that.
Damn,
Okay.
Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit ugly. I could tell you what it is in a nutshell. It's like with Netflix, they gonna give you $25,000 and license your shit for 2 years, and you'll never get nothing
Yeah, that's
in
crazy.
return
So
out of
do you
that.
think
Yeah.
that could build up for something bigger though?
Well,
'Cause-
the
'cause
first
I'm
one was on
telling you,
Netflix.
Motherfuckers,
Right, yeah, it was.
motherfuckers don't get no cable nowadays. They
Yeah.
straight Netflixing
Yeah.
it out. So do you think
fact.
like
Fire
that
shit.
could be a move to do the third one?
I think like the new wave for distribution now is like all of the platforms like the Amazon Primes, the Roku, the Tubies, and all of this stuff that the kids is watching free movies on their cell phones with just ads and streaming.
So streams. So you're getting paid off of streams.
Yeah, like Netflix is the big dog, but then you got 100 little dogs that's scraping up that little money, and they actually giving the money to the people that did
Right.
it.
That's real.
So are you on Roku? Because I just
Yeah.
got a new flat
Yeah, yeah,
screen
yeah.
yesterday,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I got Roku on it.
Yeah.
Liddy?
It's on there. Indie Rights.
Oh,
Shout
I'm
out
about to
Indie
watch
Rights.
you.
Yeah,
But when
it's
you
on
go to
there.
Roku, you gotta go to.
I think you got to go like Indie Rights or something. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's
Alright.
because I noticed I just bought a Roku TV. That stuff
Okay.
is different. Like
Yeah,
right?
I don't
Yeah,
even
so-
know.
I never heard of
Yeah,
this
you
shit.
gotta download the app to
Yeah.
get. But it's weird because it's so many channels. Like
Man.
niggas used to tell me, like,
all
man,
kinda
you could
shit.
get shit from over Indonesia, whatever the
My
fuck.
sister
like,
know all that shit. I be like,
Yeah.
yeah, just sign me up. She did.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'm
like having an
logged in.
iPhone. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
just
Right.
download
Facts.
apps, and the apps got 100,000 screens or TVs
It's
inside of them.
crazy.
So it's
So
the new wave.
okay. So you think you can make more money outside that Netflix?
I am gonna make more
Yeah.
money outside of Netflix. Again, Netflix, you can't even that little funky ass 25,000 that they give you. You
Yeah,
can't
we
even
gonna
get
this
it
to you.
directly
We gonna
from
get this
them.
to you real quick. All right, you
Yeah,
can get the
I
money
got-
back.
all right,
we
give
gonna
it
sit
here,
that
'cause we
right
gonna
next
make
to
some
you.
money,
It look a
yes.
little empty,
I'ma
but it's coming. It's coming.
I'm gonna rub it. I'm gonna rub it.
Word, man. Like the
I ain't
soul
made no
state
money
is-
yet off this
alright,
movie yet, but as soon as
so-
I make some, you bring me back.
Right,
I'm
so
gonna.
you
I
don't.
bet.
So you
Alright.
don't. This is just me like asking. You don't
Yeah.
think it's a smart move as far as the exposure? Because sometimes exposure costs way more.
Well, for a new person, a guy that's new coming up, I would definitely tell him to go to Netflix. You know what I mean? Like I would never stop.
As far as
saying
the
You
that.
film.
already, did, you already did Netflix though.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did
my
that
yeah,
for-
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I did
Yeah,
Netflix.
first of all.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it.
So they already looking you. All right.
Yeah. I fuck with Netflix. I fuck with Netflix. The problem again with
Just
Netflix
don't make
is,
sense.
yeah, you don't get your money, and then not to mention Netflix is like Apple. You can't just go to Netflix and say, "Here go my movie." Like you have to go through what they call an aggregator, which is the distributor. So here you have, if I want to make this movie and get it to you, which is my people, you know what I mean? I have to go through the white man, which is the post house, who says, well, you have to make sure the color is right, the sound is right, there's no dropped audio, the drop frame, blah, 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 blah. I
So
got to
that's
spend
your
all
white
that
man
money to
impression.
them.
That's your white man impression.
Yeah,
just to make it clear.
them.
All right.
But then they got to take it to the other white man,
Okay.
which is the distributor.
All right.
So, because the first white man telling you it's got to be like this just for us to even get it there, it has to be there. So you got to spend $10,000 right here just to get it to the distributor, which is the other white man, the big white man. Now that big white man, he the one go take it to Netflix. You know what
So
I mean?
then once you cut the
you
deal,
don't
you
talk to
already
Netflix.
like 10,000, 15,000.
If not
I said
more.
by the time you make it to Netflix, like you already done put up this much.
Man,
in-
you didn't spent what you spent on making the movie, but then
Yeah.
it's a thing that they call deliverables, which is that first white man, the one that's saying, "Hey, you got to have the color correction and you got to have the sound." And that motherfucker costs $10,000.
Damn,
He
right.
costs 10. Now, when you go to that second white man, which is distributor, he gonna tell you black movies don't sell. I'm sorry, so you got to understand that we love your movie. It's a great project. It is great. but
I
they
can say
don't
Netflix
sell
though.
the
They
movies.
do show
It's
love to
not-
the black films though.
Yeah.
They
I
try
feel like
to.
I mean, I'm just.
It's a new service. Like,
Yeah.
again, so that second distributor, he the one take your movie to Netflix, and Netflix says, distributor, you got to send me 10 movies at a time because none of these people that you sending me movies, we don't know none of these motherfuckers. So send me 10 movies at a time of none of these motherfuckers. That, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's 10 movies, 25,000 a pop. Netflix give him 250,000. He never gives us nothing. We never receive nothing because the distributor already gave us the little couple dollars that he gave, and that'd be the
It's a wrap.
last
So
time
it
you
don't
see some
make
money.
sense. Right.
So you pop,
Yes,
everybody
yes.
fuck with you, but that's how it
That's
goes.
and you know what? That's like even in the music industry. Like you can be looking like you on fire, but you're not really catching no
In
real
debt, like
check.
whatever, yeah.
You stay in debt with the labels. Like that shit is the same way, if not worse. The music industry is such a crazy business. It's weird. Like there are bookies and loan sharks.
Man.
You know what I mean? For
Do
real.
you like one better, the music industry or the movie industry?
I love the music. I would do music for the rest of my life for free. You know what I mean? If I had to. That's what people always got to understand is if you don't know your passion, ask yourself, what would you do for the rest of your life for free?
That's a
Straight
fact.
up.
If you had to. Like if I just had to, I'd do it for free because of fuck it. Fuck it, it's cool. That's your passion.
That's
That's
a
the
fact.
blessing that God gave you. So for me, music, I love music, but financially, movies, because for me, you know, movies make me a couple dollars. Like music is just dropping money
Yeah.
in the thing.
How long
No,
did it take y'all to film this movie?
8 weeks.
8 weeks?
that's
Yeah.
not bad.
I thought you were gonna say like a year or two.
No, I like to get them done.
I was gonna say that's not bad at all.
8 weeks we was in and out, and that was because we was only shooting 4 days at a time, and then everybody had to go back on tour like Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. Everybody back on
That's
the road.
crazy, right?
We
'Cause
come
you
back
got
and
hella
shoot.
artists doing
Yeah,
it.
we come back and shoot Monday through Thursday, Monday through Wednesday, stuff like that.
Got you. Just a few more questions, man.
Sure.
Now let's talk about entrepreneurship. Now I remember you told me some stuff a minute ago. You know,
You got like the blunt on that one,
Right.
right? Hold up.
Now you told me you was just like, man, like you know, when you an entrepreneur, it's just like the checks aren't guaranteed. And I remember you said one of your friends said he looked up to you because you an entrepreneur, but you looked up to him because he got a regular job and he gonna have a check coming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Fuck
saying?
yeah.
So as an entrepreneur, man, I'm learning this shit. Like I love it most days, but a lot of days I'll be like, bro, fuck this shit. So it's
It's
an
hard.
emotional battle that you know
Yeah,
you go
it
through as
is.
an entrepreneur. So
It
talk
is.
about that, and then talk about just your tips for longevity and you know being an entrepreneur as a whole. Because we got a lot of entrepreneurs here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
I think the main thing is you got to self-motivate yourself and don't wait on fucking excuses. Don't have no excuses. Take can't, won't, and shit like that out of your vocabulary, and then you got to motivate yourself. You can't be weak. Being an entrepreneur is about being strong. You know what I mean? And I get weak sometimes because the shit is a hard job. But then my backbone come and tell me, nigga, I have to go look at my history and say, this is what you've done. You did this.
Right.
Okay, nigga, wake up. You know what I mean? So, and one thing about it, Steve Jobs told that I read on him was he said the hardest thing to do is focus on something without distraction. And man, distraction is a motherfucker. If you are an entrepreneur, you have to wake up every day before everybody. You got to wake up first, and you got to not get on Instagram. You got to literally say, "This is my goal." I think I told you, Lala. One thing that made me survive a long time like this is I have a calendar. I live by my calendar. If you work for yourself and you don't have a calendar, you're not a real. And I'm not talking about in my phone. No, motherfucker. You need a calendar as a blueprint. It's like a fucking. You writing down your journal. You writing down your bills. You writing down the things you didn't want to do. You writing down shit from next week to the next month. You have to wake up with a plan that helps you develop your plan. Is coming up and writing in that calendar every day. Have a nice size calendar to do that. And like I said, just really motivate yourself. You know, you gotta definitely always, you know, talk to yourself. I have great conversation with myself. You know what I mean? And kind of analyze myself and figure out where I'm trying to go. What am I doing? And what's the steps that I'm taking to do that? Because I often tell people, like she said, I'd be jealous. Like my cousin got a job where he make $125,000 a year.
yeah.
$125,000 a year. This motherfucker work at Ford, and he can go work anywhere around the world. And he envious of me, like, cuz
Right.
you my hero. And I'm like, nigga, how? Like, you have a solid $125,000 a fucking year coming in. Your checks is probably $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 a month, nigga. 10, like, why? But again, he's not doing what he loved to do. And all he doing is going in this company and showing them how to save a bunch of money on their bottom line, which in reality, if he opened up his own company, they will hire him and consult his firm and give his ass triple of what that same amount was that he was getting for 1 year. He can make it in 90 days.
That's crazy.
But you can't. You got to walk out on faith, and you got to.
And people are really afraid to do that.
Oh,
and,
yeah, because it's a struggle.
It is a struggle.
It's
No,
a struggle.
I think we all walked out on
Struggle.
faith. You know what I mean? Because none of us at this table is from Atlanta. You know. But I think that's big how you say that, because that right there. And when you walk out on faith, you gotta know you gotta work 1,000 times harder.
Right.
And there's no clocking out.
You gotta take
like your boy
responsibility.
probably clocks out.
And it gotta be in you.
Yeah.
Not only.
Gotta be in
you. Gotta
you.
be, yeah, because it'll break your ass. Because a lot of people, I noticed through life, everybody nowadays, 90% of the people is saying, man, it was his fault. Man, I just can't. Soon as I can do this and that. Soon as I can. We was at the 8-3C the other day. That was the shit that happened right there, right?
Yeah.
And we was on a panel. And we were talking, and the fucking sound guy, nobody could hear nothing, right? Because the sound guy was asleep.
Oh, hell nah.
He sleep. He knocked out. Shout out to you. I hope you watch this. He sleep.
He probably sleep
I
right now.
crept in the back. I say, hey, wake up, the sound. Just that. You know the first thing he did, he woke up and said, no, man, trust me, the wires, this and that, the wire, I tried. I did it, man, the wires is fuck.
Yo.
I looked at him, I said, you can't do that.
Right.
You can't do that. You can't be asleep and wake up and say you're doing the best job that you can do. It's unacceptable now.
Okay.
That motherfucker looked at me and said, God damn. I done came to a brick wall.
Big boy.
And you wouldn't believe afterwards how he came to like, man, I'm sorry, bro. And you were so right, bro. You woke me up to so many aspects that I didn't even recognize. And I was just like, bro, but that's typical people through life. I mean, the motherfucker woke up like he had a blueprint. Man, the wires in the bed. I've been trying. Trust me. No, nigga. Everybody
no
sleep.
excuse.
I mean, everybody, can't nobody hear you sleep. It's
Facts.
unacceptable.
Yeah.
You're not doing the best that you can do. And if you notice, a lot of people go through that. They saying, I could be this if that motherfucker. Because the hardest thing is to take self-responsibility. So when you're an entrepreneur, man, understand you got to look in that mirror every day and say, am I doing the best? Somebody asked me the other day, Zay did, and he fucked me up with this question. He said, who are you? I said, nigga, I'm Al Nuke. He said, no. Who are you? And I damn near couldn't answer it because I'm doing so many things. I was like, shit, who am I? What the fuck? But until you able to answer that question with a front line, I am such and such. I am Al Nuke, the rapper, but I happen to make movies and I'm an actor and I motherfucking bleed this shit every goddamn day. And you sick and you stick into that, hold yourself accountable for that, you'll be successful.
That's
yeah.
real.
You know what I mean? But you got to ask yourself that every day. Who are you?
And as an entrepreneur, it sounds like you hit so many different streams of revenue.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you speak on that? Because I know, like, at one point I was so focused because I fucking love DJing. But I know, you can't rely on somebody else to book you, or you can't, you know what I mean? So I'm learning, I think within like this past 2 years, that you do have to have different revenues, Some stuff you love more than others, but we gotta get it, you gotta get it out the muscle, like how you saying, doing movies and all that.
Well, I learned all that stuff myself. I write movies, I direct movies, I edit movies. I just edited Birds of a Feather. When you see that, I edited the majority of that. I hired another person to assist me with it. I overseen what he did, and shit like that. But I learned everything myself, even when I was an artist and still an artist, but early in the game, like I said, in like 2000, 2001, I started learning business because the niggas that I leaned on, I was waiting for them to come pick me up for a show, and I was upset, and I'm like, I'm running late. I'm like, y'all niggas hurry up. And they're like, man, we ain't coming to pick you up. Find your own way to a show, nigga. You do it. And I felt so alone at that moment because I just got out of jail for that shit. So I was like, I was broke. I lost all my money. I was sleeping in my man's closet. And I'm like, y'all niggas tell me that, hit me with this at a point like this. And I put a pen and pad in my hand and said, fuck a rap. Let me understand what I'm doing. Let me understand who is PDs, MDs, radio, directors, publishing, this, that. Let me understand how to write a bio. Let me understand because these motherfuckers will never do me like that again.
Okay.
And as I grew, I just started learning. So now I have a multimedia company. So it's like, okay, well, you can't tell me nothing about, nigga. I can go get my own T-shirts did. I'm going to order them. I'm not going to bundle it. I don't want the company to do it together. No, I'm going to go buy my T-shirts from Border. I'm going to go over here to my buddy who could print 150 a color. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Like nigga, I'm going to finesse the whole plate from up to bottom on everything because I learned it myself. You know what I mean?
How would you define the word progress?
Waking up every day and holding yourself accountable for things that you have to do. Like even if it ain't a huge thing, man, just wake up every fucking day and do something that you didn't want to do. Do that. Like go outside, rake the leaves, go outside, like wash all your clothes, clean your whole fucking house, go to the fucking, like, do some weird shit. Get out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? Like, you got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to be able to wake up and say, you know what? I'm doing this. It's hard today, but fuck it, I'm doing it. And ain't no excuses. Get away from people with excuses. Get away from people that's saying, man, soon as such and such, such and such, such and such.
That's a fact.
Get the fuck on. You know what I mean? And even if you have your own vocabulary, get it out of there.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? That was one thing I told Lala early in the game. If you fuck up, take responsibility so you can learn from it. You know what I mean? Don't try to make excuses for mishaps. Just say, damn, okay, fuck it. Get up. Let's go again. Fuck it. All right, motherfucker, you got me that time. Let's go. That ain't gonna happen no more. You know what I mean? You can get me again over here, but not on that.
I think you can get a little more respect like that too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like a nigga can respect you when you accept it and be like, yo, I'm gonna do better next time.
That's how corporate people,
You know
that's
what
what
I'm
corporate in the real world, in the high end shit, HBO, Netflix, or whoever you think about, that's what they like. They like the person that's going out there to get his head chopped off in the middle of the goddamn street, but he tried, versus this motherfucker that's playing it safe and they waiting to say, what you need me to do? I'm just waiting. Like, I don't even hire people like that no more. The person that's saying even interns. I don't fuck with interns that sit there and just say, yeah, I'm ready.
Straight up.
Just, what do you need me to do? No, fuck that. You give me something what you want to do, motherfucker. Go try it. Do it. Show it. Show me. Show me something. You know what I mean? Show me something. Don't sit around and tell me, because now you draining me. You know what I mean? For real. So, yeah.
That's real, man. Last question, man. Talk about your new podcast that you are starting.
Man, that's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna have y'all on there too.
Of course.
People don't know I had a television show, Nuke at Night, years. It was like a Dave Chappelle sketch comedy. You can check it out on YouTube. It's called Nuke at Night. It was out years ago in Detroit. It was #1. I felt like I wanted to bring it back with a podcast and with a show where they can see me and I can talk, because I got a lot of shit to say. And I'm very opinionated.
We listening.
Right?
We listening
so
too.
Check what my first show is, right? Now, my first 2 shows to just give y'all the thesis of it. My first show is a journal of me. So I will argue on the show with anybody that had an issue with me. Come pull up. Let's talk on the show, motherfucker. You know what I mean? So I got a couple people that's coming, and we got real issues. And the first one is my baby mama. I got 3 baby mamas.
That's real.
Now listen,
That's a real
I got 3 baby mamas. My
love
first
drama.
baby mama is coming on set. So you already know
Wow.
how
That's dope.
ugly that's about to be,
Oh, that's
right?
gonna be
Years of
crazy.
shit built
And y'all
up.
gonna
She
talk about
to
real
come.
stuff. When does that start?
Man, it start airing December 1st, hopefully.
Nice.
That's the first show. The second show will be The Whitest White Man. I want to find a white man that's going to wear a KKK thing and tell us why white people hate niggas, and I want to talk to him about why niggas
Oh, yeah,
hate
you
white
going
people.
there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But hold no punches.
Straight
We
up.
can talk about whatever you want. We ain't
As long
gonna
as
kill
it's
each
like,
other.
yeah.
We ain't gonna kill each other. It's old school Donahue.
As
nigga,
long as you're
old-
ready to listen.
Cause I want to know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How can we iron this shit out? Maybe somebody could pick some shit out of that. So
Be
I don't
careful
know.
with that
Racist
one,
shit
man.
gets under my skin like crazy. I don't
Man,
know.
'cause-
Can you keep your composure doing all that?
yeah, definitely. I mean, well, that's my new movie. Is the new movie I'm working on is called Race. You know, I'm doing movies that mean something from this point out.
That's
You know what I
hard.
mean? I'm taking a few years off of writing street movies, rap movies, shit like that. I'm about to make a powerful ass movie. My next movie is called Race, and
It's the
That's
perfect
dope.
time.
yeah.
Hell
So I'm about to do one of them. I'm about to test myself. I'm about to do one of them, like you know, whatever
Yeah.
that shit is just called.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Well, we can all say it's definitely been a pleasure having
Yeah, you are
on
my
the
Thank you.
favorite
show.
guest. Cause
Straight
you
up.
really stay in game.
Like,
You
everybody
You
been
kept
in
him
game.
on
and you know
Yeah.
I'm 6'9" and like I'm the best.
Man, quit listening to her, man.
So look, let them know your social media. Where can they find you?
Man, everything is Al Al Nuke, ALNUKE, ALNUKE. Y'all can find me there. I appreciate the progress report for fucking with me. Zaytoven, Zaytown. Pick up the Usher album. It's in stores right now. It's streaming. We just did that. And Birds of a Feathers on Amazon Prime right now. You know what I mean? I'm rocking.
Thank
Yeah, the progress report.
Yeah.
Yeah. Omerta.